What's up, guys? Marcus and Santos here with Dying to Disc Golf for the first ever Amateur Hour podcast. Who are we? Marcus Salvador, PDGA 89913. In case you want to look me up, you're probably better than me.
Definitely better than me. I'm Santos Torres. You don't need to look up my PDGA. You just need to know that I am Dying to Disc Golf. It's my company that I started about 2 years ago. I'm opinionated. That's what the show's about. We're having opinions. You can have one. We can have one. We can discuss them, and everybody can still agree to disagree and walk away friends. That's hopefully what we hope to establish with this podcast.
All right, so today we want to talk about amateur sponsorships and what that entails, because Santos does sponsor players. I am sponsored as an amateur, and we think there's been a lot of movement in the offseason for amateurs. So what do you think? Have you heard about the Lone Star Disc sponsorship?
I have heard about the Lone Star sponsorship. LSD is the first thing that comes to mind because of Nico, right? Let's just put it
Yeah,
there.
big offseason signing with
So
Nico.
we're going to talk amateur sponsorships, right? But you can't talk about Lone Star if you don't talk about Nico.
No.
And we're just going to dive into that for a few seconds because everybody knows it's Nico, right? You get the good with the bad. Skill level is way up here, and the passion to play is even higher. So his emotions can run unchecked sometimes. Everybody knows what happened. We don't have to hash what he did over in Europe. But yeah, they definitely made a splash. They made some noise when they went ahead and kicked off their season like that. So it made us think, what else is going to happen with LSD? We saw that they signed a couple more people. We're hearing that they're saving money to try to go after some more pros. And then Marcus caught on to their amateur sponsorship, which got my interest because, again, I sponsor some players. I had a couple touring players last year, a bunch of amateurs here in Buffalo, New York, and also in Charlotte, North Carolina. And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, Florida one didn't work out. But yeah, so I think that we should delve into this a little bit more to see what Lone Star is up to. And funny note, go ahead and tell them exactly how the amateur sponsorship works. What do they get?
Yeah, so Lone Star Disc amateur sponsorship was 4 discs and a discount on the store.
Just 4.
That's it. And
Just
you have to throw only Lone Star. From what I've read, what I've researched, you have to throw only Lone Star. So if you were already a big fan of Lone Star and you were bagging that, probably a good pickup.
Again, this is called Amateur Hour for a reason. If the information that we have readily available online isn't correct, drop it in the comments. We'll always open to discuss what's going on with it. But 4 discs, I don't care if you're Paul Macbeth. You're not rolling with 4 discs, 5 versions of each disc to fill your bag. You need more than 4 discs. Even if you're amateur, you're still trying to progress, right, through the ranks. You want to get better.
Oh, yeah, you're trying to get better.
So you're going to play these courses. But, you know, I can see my local courses that I know very well. I could take 4 discs, and I can go decently play them.
And
right?
we're not saying Lone Star only has 4 Frisbees, 4 molds.
But you only can pick 4.
No, you get given 4 as your allotment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then but then you got to buy the rest.
Right. 4.
4, yeah. Well, I think they're expecting everybody to buy the rest.
What's the point of the sponsorship if you're only getting 4?
That's why we're talking about it.
I think I mean you got 4 from me like off the bat just for talking. And then,
yeah.
It's different for different players. I have different levels of sponsorship from MPO down, but I know they have all the molds. But 4.
Yeah, they have a full lineup. I just pulled up their lineup. They've got a full lineup of discs.
4.
Yeah, 4 discs is not a lot, and I mean, so they made their move. You know, from what I'm reading and what I researched on, you know, Instagram and Reddit, was a lot of 900 rated and sub 900 rated golfers is who they sponsored.
And is there a consensus on the top 4 that these guys play with? Like, what are their top 4 molds that these guys are choosing?
Oh, I haven't seen anyone talk about it. I haven't seen any in the bags yet, no. But, and not to say they didn't sponsor, you know, 950, 960, 970 guys, because I found plenty of those as well. But I just find it interesting where we're targeting.
Do we know what the discount is? Because that might matter.
I don't know what the discount is.
Is it like a wholesale level? Are you getting 20% off, 40, 50? Like what?
That, no one has disclosed that.
If you guys know what the discount is, please drop it in the comments. Because, again, we want to get the information out. We want to share what's going on.
Because to compare, for 2023, I'm sponsored by Gateway as at an amateur level. At the lowest level, to be sponsored by Gateway is 940 rated for men, which I am currently 942. And the requirements are it's 8 social posts a month and wear and bag Gateway. But for the same thing, so Lone Star requiring to wear and bag Lone Star, I'm getting 20 discs and store credit. And all this is public information on Gateway's website. I'm not disclosing anything. You can find this all on Gateway's website at the different tour levels. I'm getting a bag and 20 discs. I get bonuses on performance paid out in merch credit for an amateur. We do know my discount level towards Gateway. I get wholesale pricing, so as if I'm a retailer, and a tracked 15% off coupon code. So and that bonus hits every 10 orders with my code.
We're gonna put the code in here so you guys can see.
They haven't approved it yet. I don't know if my code's active yet.
When it is, it's gonna be right here. Actually, I think we like putting codes up top. I'm tired
I
of
like
them being
pointing
down low. I
up
like
top.
pointing up top.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you think of the differences there?
Huge. But again,
There is a ratings floor.
There-
940 rating floor.
Yeah.
And it gets better at 970 and then 1,000 rated.
right. And you said you were looking at numbers that were in the 900 range for.
A lot of
For
the
LSD.
LSD was 900. There were plenty of people.
Yeah.
There were plenty above 940 and plenty below 940.
So, to me, it just feels like Gateway is targeting the people who are a little bit better, right? They're a little more committed to the game, and they want to reward you for being committed.
Yeah.
They want to give you more discs. They want to give you the discount, the touring, tracking. And to me, it sounds like maybe LSD is just building their base because they're focusing on those pros that they're going after right now, right?
Well-
so they're going to need some money for that.
LSD is definitely building their base. It's great for LSD. It's not as good for the player.
Right. So what's
know,
the
you're-
players? So what's the player's motivation to apply? Is it the new person who
This is
just
this right here.
started
This is the
taking
motivation.
the logo?
Put a team logo on your shirt. Absolutely.
Well, then it's
People
so-
like to say they're sponsored. Getting that first sponsorship propels you to the next sponsorship.
Remind me, was the LSD minimum? Was there a minimum for 900, or is that the average?
No, that's just what people are saying. It
They're
was
saying
an
it was.
average
Okay, so
of.
there was no real minimum. Right?
There was no minimum.
So
No, I found plenty in the 860s,
let's say
870s.
maybe we consider this like an amateurish ambassador level, maybe, right? Like you're out there, you're with your friends, you got your 4-disc allotment, but if you're doing pretty good, you're telling your friends what discs you have, you're showing off their discs, and maybe it's not tagged as an ambassador, but maybe that's just kind of what they're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, Lone Star is definitely putting their name out there as a new company.
What's their putters?
The Penny, I think if I'm right, yeah, the Penny was the old one, the original one they came out with.
Okay.
They came out with like the Blue Bonnet is the new one, the one that I like the numbers on.
I personally tried the Penny.
Did you?
I just thought it was awesome because it was a penny, right? Why wouldn't you want to try that? But I went ahead and I had to get the Armadillo. I got the glow one.
You got one?
The Glowdillo. I got it when we went to Maple Hill, across the street, Marshall.
Marshall Street, yeah.
Yeah. So I went there and they had a nice glow one.
Best course in Massachusetts, not Maple Hill. Marshall Street.
I haven't played Marshall Street, but Maple Hill's my
Is,
favorite. Maple Hill's just my
What's it
favorite.
called? Pyramids. Pyramids is better.
So-
if you're an amateur, Pyramids is better.
We'll get to that part in another one because we can say we have favorites because we have traveled. We have played top tier courses that the pros played. So we have an opinion. It's not like we're playing the same, 15, 20 within a 30-mile, 40-mile radius around here. But I just got to say, I've traveled to the Mecca, Charlotte. I love some of the courses there, but Maple Hill so far, absolute favorite. But yeah, so the Dillo, right? I like it. I like it because I also like a Berg. I like the thumb track. I
Yeah.
like the feel. I like stuff like that. So,
It's a one-speed putter? Yeah, 1201.
and the glow, it's top notch.
They have good glow.
I
will agree.
It's right up there with MVP and Casta. It was a
Yeah.
good glow. Dying to disc golf is based on. I just started dyeing some discs. I came along. I had a friend. Shout out to Bobcat, and he saw one of the jobs I did. He's like, "Wow, you got talent." He gave me all of his stuff. Right. So I like dyeing stuff. So I have a shop. I do my dyes. When I turn off the lights, when I'm all done, a few things glow in there. I got some Firebirds that they're gonna glow pretty decently. I got some Sextons down there, but top of the line is MVP. Absolutely lights up the room. Casta right next to it. I actually put them in separate ends of the racks just to kind of see which ones were glowing, and the Dillo was right there with them. So I see that a lot.
Yeah. Where do we go? Where do we come from to get here?
we came here, we were just talking about the level of sponsorships and being a
Right.
ambassador and what people have tried. So I just threw out that.
Right.
I
Right.
tried that.
So I think you get your first sponsorship. So you sponsored me first. That was my first sponsorship.
Yeah.
Was you, and then that was when I was like, okay, maybe I apply for. So then I applied for a couple sponsorships this year.
I mean, yeah. So if you want to, I mean, we're talking about it, right? This is amateur sponsorships.
Yeah,
Doesn't
we're talking
have
about
to
amateur
specifically be
sponsorships.
them.
But
So when that happened with Bob and I started dyeing the discs, and they saw I had talent, had some work. The Facebook group for dyeing, absolutely the best thing ever. They answer all your questions. Well, not all of them, because if you keep repeating the same ones, there's lists and there's things pinned that you can go to learn. But that's where I went, and I'll throw up a couple dyes. Like, I'm not the best, but I'm really good in what I do, so I'm confident that I can make pretty good dyes, right? So I did some, and then it came to me. It was right before COVID, like, was happening. Like, it just happened. We played LVC that year.
yep.
And then we got the idea. Somebody said, let's just see what we can retail and see what happens from there. So I started the business, did it all legit, got the license and everything. Went ahead and got the basic, the big ones, Discraft, Discmania, MVP, Trilogy. Innova was not taking them at the time.
Right.
And so that's how I started, right? And then my daughter, Bobcat, my daughter Alicia, Bobcat, and a kid that he brought up, Justin, will always be the kid, said, now you need a team. And I knew nothing about how to sponsor a team. But they talked me into it. And one of the first people that we talked about was Marcus, because Marcus, not just that he's fun to be around, he played, casual rounds with us, chose to hang out with us, but Marcus has always been involved in the community. Marcus has been involved in running leagues, actually creating.
Yeah. Couple
courses.
leagues now. Yeah.
He was involved in creating the courses, course build, course design, the course work. Put a shovel in this man's hands and the muscles grow exponentially. We have pictures of that too. Maybe we'll get that up there for you. But yeah, very small. That's how it started.
And at that point, I was living in Boston.
Yes,
I was in
from
Massachusetts.
here, but living in Boston. So the plan was I had people in Charlotte, people here, people in Boston. So we were looking to expand outside of the footprint here.
Yeah.
And that first year, we had someone in
Florida,
which you guys will be able to meet.
You'll meet
hopefully on
Gambo.
one of the podcasts. He's agreed to join us. And then our first pro touring player was Dan Brooks Wells, running back himself. And then Justin Gilbert went on tour last year. So we have different levels. We have MPO players that are here. We have Nate, who literally travels the country playing disc golf, living the life.
Yeah.
He travels every year to the West Coast for a couple of months, and he stops along the way. He's been to all the places, been playing forever. Awesome guy. In it absolutely for the love of the game, and will play and spend time with anyone on a golf course. Amazing guy.
2021 New York State champ.
2021 New York State champ.
I don't think Brinster was there for that
It
tournament.
doesn't matter who was there. What matters is he has the trophy. He does
have the trophy.
He calls himself New York State champ. No one can take that away. So it doesn't matter who was there. I don't care if Simon was there or not there. The man got the championship. That matters. But yeah, I'm not going to run down the list of everybody. But that's
we
amateur
have different
sponsorship.
levels. Yeah, amateur sponsorship comes at different levels.
Yeah.
So, for Lone Star, maybe those 860 guys are crushing social media. Like they might be. I looked up. I went down a couple hashtags of Lone Star discs, disc golf, hashtag disc golf, hashtag Lone Star discs. Just trying to find people posting. Going through, seeing who was posting that they were on the team for the year, and I only found a couple, and those were the guys that were lower rated. Were the guys posting. So that probably has a lot to do with it.
I'm just going to say I'm sure it does, because it's just an absolute minimum requirement now. I mean, that's why it's written into yours to have a minimum number of posts,
mine.
right?
Yeah, in mine is 8 posts a month.
Get the hashtag, put it on your socials, and let it grow. I was actually a little bit behind the times for our first LVC since I started the company. And when I was making the shirts for everyone, my daughter absolutely said, you got to put your website at the bottom. You got to put everything on the shirt. I'm like, I thought it was kind of cheesy, to be honest. I just thought a logo, and if you want your name or however style you wanted it, that would be cool. But when I said that however style you wanted it, that included putting the website on there. So walking advertisements and getting the socials. So I was behind the times on that. I felt like socials help grow, obviously, but the push and the requirements and the minimums, I feel like it becomes more of a chore when you're in it for the love of the game and you just want to grow with the game and have fun, and to have to constantly check off a box like, did I do this? Did I do this? Did I do this? I feel like it just takes just a little bit away from it, right?
It does. I mean, now that I didn't, well, you took videos tonight from, we just finished our putting league that we run every Monday night.
At Western New York Gaming, LLC. Shout out to
Yeah.
Western New York Gaming.
Thank you to them for hosting us here for putting league.
Appreciate it.
And right now. But I didn't take any videos or pictures tonight, so I'm going to rely on whatever you took.
Yeah, so see, again, it's checking off a box.
It is.
Right? You're in the moment, you're having league, you're having fun, the camaraderie, the shit talk. Like,
Yeah,
I was
but I mean,
doing that on camera, but
I did walk up to you.
kinda-
I
yeah.
walked up to you and said, "Hey, are you taking any videos?"
Yeah.
Because we had a really good match. The finals were really tight.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a really 4 good putters, 4 people
Yeah.
putting lights out tonight, and it was a really close match.
Yeah.
So
But-
I was like, "Hey, get some videos of this so you can post on your socials for D2DG. I can
And
post
did
on
you
my
feel
socials."
like it was a box you had to check? Did you feel like this is something that you had to do?
Yeah.
Because you're in the moment. That's what I'm asking.
Because I'm not a social media guy.
Right.
I before this Gateway sponsorship,
Right.
I wasn't a social
Absolutely.
media guy.
Not even close.
I don't mind being a social media guy. If you're going to help me grow my game, my brand, because they're helping me grow my game, my brand, my tournaments
Yeah.
that I run. I'll absolutely do it. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Absolutely. And it's nice. I can connect with people I met in Vegas, like Dark Ace. I can,
Yeah.
I've got my Dark Ace putters that I use in the winter. So I, take a picture of those, throw them up there, tag George.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, George.
Shout out to George.
Play disc golf, listen to metal.
Can't knock that. That guy was awesome.
Yeah, George was great. I would always, support them.
Nathan Queen, shout out. He was
Yes.
there with him and
Well,
stopped
he's
by the
sponsored by
table. Yeah.
Dark Ace.
And he stopped by the table, and that was an awesome experience being there and meeting those guys. But again, it comes down to the socials. If you're pushing your socials, if you're not, if it's a requirement. There was a time not that long ago, before, like when I was just starting this up, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were playing casual rounds. We were having ideas, and we were always taking pictures, even during tournaments, taking
Yeah.
pictures, taking videos. But then it became a grind, and we started throwing more tournaments in the area. We started being responsible
Yeah.
for more. And then the cameras went away. Like the phones got put away. You didn't have maybe a handful of pictures, and you're asking people, hey, did you do something? Did you do
Yeah,
something?
we're always asking, hey, did you take any pictures
Yeah.
during that tournament?
It's to the point where we're going to have like a full-time photographer walking the course
almost need
just to
to.
make sure it's happening
Yeah.
and to help out the people who are playing, like, because they don't have time. But if we have someone on site taking those pictures and sending them, and they can grab them and put them up on their socials,
Yeah.
everybody wins,
And we know a photographer we can always pay
yeah,
to have her
yeah.
come out and do pictures for our tournaments.
Yeah.
And she does them. She likes to come out to tournaments anyway. Melissa.
Okay, I was just going to say, yeah. All right, shout out to Melissa.
Shout out to Melissa. Art of Flight DG.
Art of Flight, disc golf, yes. And amazing
Amazing
photos.
photographer.
She plays disc golf. She's another cheating lefty, I believe.
She's lucky.
Yeah. So I don't like playing against her, but playing with her, she's awesome. And her photos, top notch.
Yeah, killer photos.
Some
So-
of our tournaments, she's made professional quality. So you can always count on her for stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So if we ever need or want more, we have resources to
Yeah.
do that. Clearly.
So we have to try to do this. What is
Well,
it? High tide float all boats.
Rising tide floats all
Rising tide
boats.
floats all boats. So we have to try to do this.
You
where
got to support the people in your
we're
area.
doing it, and we're helping the people in our area, so we ask them to help us. It's not just about the sponsorship. We're going to help you with your sponsorships, right? If we can have someone there taking pictures. And then
Then that boosts. So then we
boosts
have
the
the
events
posts
that we
for
have.
our team.
Yeah.
There's pictures of our team. They can post, say, "Hey, I won this tournament with our big logo on the back,"
so
which is the whole point
I
of the
really want to
sponsorship.
talk about that. Now, look, I know it's professional, and I know we're not going to go there yet. This is amateur level, but I really want to talk about this. We're headed to the NASCAR world, right?
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
You're going to have this shirt, this jersey, whatever you have, and it's just going to be pelted with logos, right? So, like Ricky and
Look
KT.
No, Drew. Look at Drew. Drew has like 5 sponsors.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about Ricky. I've seen his shirts that have them listed, right?
Yeah.
I've seen Kristen Tatar, KT. I've seen her all listed like they're like. Obviously, they have to give them their partnership dues and advertise for what you're doing. So the amateur level, people are starting to grab multiple sponsorships, and they're gonna have that. Marcus has 2 right now.
I just pulled up a picture of Drew. Drew's got 3 lined up down the back. Team Infinite, EV7, and Squatch.
Okay. I forgot.
And he's probably gonna. So he'll probably put
And
finish line
He's
discs.
gonna have to have finish line on there too.
Yeah, that's his brand. I'll
Is this
put it right here.
Yeah. No, let's go up top, baby. Put the brands. Put everything up top. We'll put the
No, the picture.
pictures. Yeah. Put them up top. We want everything up
I'll
top.
insert the picture right now.
All right. So yeah, we'll get back to the amateur, but I'm just saying.
No, you're right. Even local players to us are sponsored by like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 local companies
3 or 4
sponsor
local companies sponsoring players. Yeah.
players in our area.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that dilutes the pool too much.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I feel like it does. I had a talk with my core people. Oh, Marcus, you were one
So
of
was that
them.
me? Was I in that
Yeah,
conversation?
you were.
I don't remember this conversation.
You absolutely were. You were there. Alicia was there. Justin was there. Bob was there. And it was where we came to the decision not to have all the local
Yes.
sponsors
Yes,
on our. So I don't have very many requirements. It's not contractual. I'm old school, handshake agreement.
Yeah.
I trust you, you trust me, and we help each other out. Yeah, we have some of it in writing with the messaging back and forth, but one of the requirements that I had was you're not going to be sponsored by another local retailer. And because we felt like it does dilute.
Yeah.
Like you just literally go out and have 4 friends, 5 friends
And
that
call
you've been
it a-
playing wherever, and everybody's trying to grow and get these businesses going.
Yeah.
So they say, hey, if we can help each other out and we can sponsor each other,
Yeah.
that's going to boost you because you can go on your socials and say, I got 4 or 5 sponsors.
Yeah.
But really, it's just diluted because it's a group,
Yeah.
right? So we felt that right now, as we're growing, as we're small, we like the competitiveness of my sponsorship. Like we don't have
Yeah.
an application process. The way you join D2DG is your name gets brought up by any team member, any at all.
Yeah.
Marcus is team manager, so he does the research on the specific person in person, right? So a person will get brought up, and the reason for bringing them up, like involved in the community, really good, you don't have to be necessarily competitive.
No,
and
it doesn't
winning.
matter how
You
good
don't.
you are.
What matters
It matters
is,
to me a little bit, but I'm
he's the manager. He
I'm
takes care
I'm,
of
I'm
that.
elitist in disc golf. So
Definitely elitist, but
it matters to me how good you are.
what
But
matters is your involvement in the community, and if
Yeah.
you can get along with this
yeah, if you
specific
fit in
group
with
of
our
people.
core.
Because this core is not elitist, and it doesn't.
No.
It's a family, right?
Yeah.
It's a family because
It's very
there's
tight-knit.
positive and there's definitely negative reinforcement that happens within our team chats.
Yeah.
Right? We're pushing each other. It's that family feel where we can absolutely make fun of you. We can call you. I just knocked the mic, but we can make fun of you. We can call you names. We can tell you how horrible you are. But if somebody outside of our team calls you bad, that's it. We draw the line, and now we're at your
Yeah.
defense, and we're showing why you're not. And that's why we are back-to-back Western New York
Western New
team
York team
champions.
championships.
Because we push each other to get better.
Yeah.
When you join D2DG, right? We work with. I mean, we've done film reviews for each other.
Yeah.
We do breakdowns for each other. We get out there and push each other with mechanics, with everything from putting to drives to disc plastics.
Yeah.
He's a savant when it comes to plastic and compare companies across the board. But Bob Cat is one of the most knowledgeable people to ever have in your group, just across disc golf, period. From
Yeah.
rules to plastic, all things disc golf, Bob Cat's the go-to.
Yeah.
Again,
very
I wanted to
knowledgeable.
give props to everybody on the team for what they do because they all bring something. Nate, the New York State champion, he's all trilogy all the time, but he's still super knowledgeable about the game of disc golf. And he's been OG in this area.
Yeah.
He's been around the OGs, and he's traveled with OGs back and forth across the country. So he has a lot to bring with knowledge. So
Yeah, like Nate, I would say if you wanted to ask him for advice, it'd be on mental game.
yeah.
Like that's why we keep him around.
Yeah, because he can handle the mental. He can
can handle
block
the
out
mental
the
game.
noise, and he can tell you how to do it. Talk about this man is so confident in his game. I think it takes him 1.3 seconds to drive.
Oh, just instant.
He
knows what disc.
He knows what disc as he's walking to the tee pad.
Which
and then
I
when it's
agree
his
with. I
turn-
think you should.
Yeah, when it's his turn though, you could still be watching where your disc is going to go, and he's already at the tee pad
out.
waiting for you to move. And then when you move, he's walking up and he's letting fly. And I've seen it where most times he doesn't even have to watch because he knows where it's going to land, and he gets out the way. Same thing with putting. The line's up to his putt, and all he's doing is giving the basket back the disc. It's like you pick up a disc for your friend and you go, here, give it to him.
Yeah,
He walks
100%.
up,
That's exactly how he
throws
does
it in, and puts the biscuit in the basket. So
I mean, last year he beat me in like 3 feet of snow in match play at Team Challenge. He beat me in like 3 feet of snow.
Yeah.
By like 10.
he's
On
that
like
good.
18 holes, he beat me in 10 holes.
So bringing it back to the amateur sponsorship part of it and how we build our team and being the pool and having too many.
Yeah, having too many sponsors.
Yeah,
And,
we at this time we just feel like it's best not to do it. Doesn't mean we won't. There are some local manufacturers. There's one local manufacturer that makes discs.
That makes discs, yes.
And then we also have one that does a website for men, Squala.
Yeah,
Shout
Squala
out to
Disc,
Squala.
who
they get a link up in here. We
Yeah.
love those guys.
but they just
Check out their
sponsored a
app.
ton of people.
They did sponsor a ton of people. Yeah, yeah. Tony was one of them, right? Russo.
I think Tony's one of them, yeah.
So we saw him last week. He told us, but we didn't get too much details.
No,
from
we
him,
didn't get
but-
details. But I see on my, since I started an Instagram account for disc golf specifically, I'm seeing tons of like, hey, I just got sponsored by Squala. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I play against the owner of that like every week in tournaments.
Yeah, he's MA1. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an MA1 guy.
Yeah, I
right
bounce
up
back
there.
and forth depending on who's in the tournaments. Really, because I want to have fun when I'm playing a tournament too. So if I don't have too many people that I get along with or are really fun pushing in MA2 or something, I'll go to MA1 and play with the guys that I know and have fun.
He's rated 873
873.
because everyone's going to want to know.
Yeah, well, you can look it up, but yeah, 873. So why am I rated 873? Because I bounce around and I just don't care. I just want to have fun. And anyone who plays with me knows I am full send Saturday every day of the week. I don't lay up. It's not a thing. We'll cover that in something else.
Yeah, we
Don't
strongly
shake your
disagree.
head
We
because there
strongly
is
disagree.
2 missing world championships from Paul and from Paige when they both laid up. If they kept the killer mentality and sealed the deal, they would both have an additional world championship on their names. I know it was a holy shot. I get that.
Yeah.
But if you push and don't lay up, no holy shot affects it. No holy shot.
Paul's talked about it. We can get into it some other time.
Of course Paul's talked about it. He's the best in the world. He's GOAT. You'll hear that again. Paul's GOAT.
Paul's the
But
best
Paul
player to
laid
ever
up.
play.
And in the same exact year, the same day, Paige laid up. And
Yeah.
they both took a L. I know I'm in the minority here. Trust me. I know I'm in the minority. But I am still passionate about champions win by going out there and playing for the win. You don't win by playing not to lose. You just don't. That's across sports in general.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. That's why I'm 873.
Well, it's because you run everything and then don't make the comebacker.
It's hard to
why
make a comebacker from Circle 2.
Which is why
hard
you
to make a comeback
didn't
from
win
Circle
putting league today.
Excuse me, you want to talk putting league? I'm pretty sure week 1 I was in the finals and you were nowhere to be found.
I came in third.
And who beat you to get there?
I made money.
This guy beat you to get there. So it's on any given day.
Any given
Putting
day.
on any given day, right?
Anytime you can make someone throw another shot, anything can happen.
So, that's what disc golf is. You have your favorites. You have your 1050 boys. You have everybody that can kill it. But they're not always gonna win.
No, not at all.
And around here,
Not anymore.
Yeah, around here, first of all, I don't have to justify because I really don't care. I've never cared about my rating. I've never looked at it and done anything with it. But we'll try to get into this on another episode of how the Western New York area affects your ratings. Versus the
Yeah,
other
no,
greater areas.
different areas because I played in Boston a couple tournaments.
Played in Charlotte.
You played in Charlotte.
We've done the LVC.
We've played
done
LVC. We've played Ledgestone.
Yeah, we've done plenty of other ones outside of here, but I'm still new, right? This is my 3rd year playing. I'm still new.
Right.
So
Yeah, you started just before COVID. And then you started the team the
Yeah.
year after that.
So I'm still learning about what is happening on the scene up and down the coast or whatever people are doing for their ratings and how much they care about them. I just never did. I just want to have fun. I don't want to go into a tournament stressed. Which, by the way, I have in my first year. I did win a tournament. If you want to look up my PDGA,
He did. He won Western New York Amateur Championships.
there you go. I mean,
in 2020.
All downhill from there. Just. But I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Bond Lake Amateur Championship, which I guess.
And I came in second in an MA1.
At Bond Lake Open.
Or, no, I came in third in an MA1.
That was the year after.
Another guy that we sponsor, Spencer. He snuck in from the chase card.
Yeah, third.
Yeah.
It was a 2-round point series. That counts.
Yeah, it counts.
It was 2
that was
rounds.
my highest rated round in the first round.
Yeah.
960? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I remember that number because people always ask, how was your highest rated round? And I am so proud of our guys, like Chris when he got his first 1,000 rated round.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten one.
Gosh.
I finally beat my highest rated round was, for the longest time, was my first round with the PDGA number. I shot 985 in my first tournament, first round, yes. And I finally beat it when I tied Spencer at like 996.
How was your rating so low when we met? You were down there.
Because that round dropped off.
Okay.
Because
I
was
forget how that goes, yeah.
I shot 985 and then followed up with 885.
Oh, there you go. That'll do it.
And then one of them dropped off and the other one didn't.
That'll
or something like that.
do it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we could talk ratings, we could talk people, but we're going to circle back to the focus of what the podcast is. Podcast is opinions. Everyone's allowed to have them. Everyone's allowed to share them. They're not always going to be popular, but my personal focus, just like running it, people don't agree with that, right? My personal focus for what I hope to get out of this podcast.
I thought you meant running it the podcast.
No.
Running it with Nate Sexton.
No. We're not touching that one. We're not allowed to talk about that one. Shout out to Nate, though.
Shout out to Nate. Jared's a local guy to us.
We don't know what happened between Nate and Jared, so we're not.
I haven't seen Jared in a while. He used to come to.
Something happened on the socials, so.
He used to come to one of our leagues all the time.
So
he came to my league once.
He's going to toe the line. He's a rule follower. His other sponsorship kind of requires that. I am going to speak my mind. I'm going to tell you whatever it is, and I'm going to be able to share what other people say. I may not agree with that, but I want other opinions to be brought up and be addressed. I want everyone to be free to say things that normally aren't allowed to be said, right? I shared it with you not even maybe a week ago. You and Alicia, I tagged you. Brody, right?
Yeah.
Brody is, this magnet. He pulls a lot of people in, a lot of followers. He pushes a lot of people away.
Brody was great for the sport. I'll say it.
He definitely helped the sport grow, okay? I'll give you 30 seconds on Brody. When he showed up, I was still new, but I had a problem with him being so famous, so fast, getting his own disc, getting his own sponsorship, getting all this money with all these people who were grinding for years, and for him to just pop in, get that, it bothered me just being new on a sport sense, not a disc golf, if you know what I mean. Just a sport sense. Like, how does the new guy show up and get everything when people are grinding? Initially bothered me. This is how Brody won me over. A local here went on the socials, made a comment. Brody took offense to, looked him up, gave him his rating, and said, you can't be this rated, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think it was 876.
It was something.
It was probably lower than that. Sorry, guy.
I don't want to say escalated or devolved. It went in many directions very quickly. But what Brody did is he went live on Instagram and he said, I want to know why you don't like me. I want to know
I remember that was right after that.
I'm going to take questions. I'm going to let you guys come into my chat and we're going to talk and we're going to hash this out because I want you to know who I am and I want to know who you are.
Yeah.
Instant respect. I watched it. As soon as he went live, I watched
saw it, didn't watch it.
Instant respect. So it doesn't mean I'm a Brody fanboy. It means I respect Brody. He is good for the sport. He has come a long way. This man is throwing some discs pretty damn well.
He throws
He
far.
is an athlete.
No,
okay?
oh my God. They were just
athlete.
talking about it on the Foundation podcast. If Brody had never played Ultimate and had gone disc golf instead of Ultimate, it would have been like 3 knee injuries better, and he'd be one of the best players in the world.
Right.
Which, I mean, if you're looking at percentage-wise, he is one of the best players in the world. He's like top 50 in the world of disc golf.
You can look that up while I discuss this. The point I was making is Brody went again and said, we have too many vanilla opinions and vanilla players. We have everyone, I'm doing this in a nutshell, I'll give you the scope, but he said we have so many people towing the line, not wanting to upset the cart, not wanting to speak their mind, and that we actually need more people who do speak their mind. We need different opinions. We need people to be heard. So my goal to get out of this is to have a lot of opinions heard, not just mine, but I mean, within reason, right? You're going to have some, even Brody said he has some trash opinions. Everybody has them. I have them. He has them. Everybody has them, right? You can't go by the majority. You can't go by the popular opinion because that's all it is an opinion. We're going to have people who can spit facts and back everything up with evidence. Okay, those things matter. But when you're dropping an opinion, like circling back to the beginning with LSD, my opinion of Nico is he shouldn't have got a contract yet. He should have had to play his
Isn't
way
he
back.
still suspended?
No, it was just for the rest of the year. I'm pretty sure it was just for the rest of the
I
year.
thought it was months.
He could come back.
I thought it was just months.
Okay, well, we'll find out. But so I've never hated on Nico. I'm circling back. He was a good player, high passion. He got the best of him. I'm not going to discuss his 1.5 to 2 minute putting. I'm only going to discuss that his anger, his emotion that boils over affected him in one of the largest tournaments in Europe, and it came out with an official, okay? An official doing his job that so many of us have begged for them to do.
For them to do, yeah.
So many of us have begged. Please hold this man accountable. There's rules for a reason. The other guys on the card don't want that animosity. They don't want the problems. That's why you have officials. That's why you have a tour.
Yeah.
Okay? You have a tour. You have these lead cards, these chase cards, right? You can have an official. There's enough volunteers. You don't tell me you have to pay them, right? There's enough volunteers. There's somebody as an official that they can get to follow these groups and take it out of the players' hands if the players are uncomfortable.
Well, here's where I'm going to disagree with you because you've met a lot of amateur disc golfers. That's who's going to be your officials. Are amateur disc golfers that are PDGA certified.
No. I don't mean just anybody off the street. I mean, they can get a volunteer. Like, some of these courses have the volunteers that they've known that are
Sure.
flagging for years and years, right?
Yes.
There's a way to qualify them.
Just because you're okay, I agree with that. There's
a way to qualify them
I would say just because you're good
in
at
their area.
flagging
No.
doesn't mean you know the rules well.
No. Well, yeah. What I meant is they come back, they know them, they get to know who the person is, and when you know who the person is, you know if you can trust them. So if you have a
Yes.
qualifying process,
Yes, and these big tournaments
Not a
have been run.
yes,
By the time they become Pro Tour stops,
they've been run for
they've
years
been
and
being
years.
run for years already.
Yes. So you can get
I agree with
someone.
that.
So Nico, in my personal opinion, Nico needed to earn these sponsorships back because it was an official. It wasn't a player-to-player interaction. It was an official, and it was the intimidation, attempted intimidation.
Call it what it was.
Whatever, call it what. Yeah, it was. So
Yeah.
he has the skill, right? He has the skill to earn them back,
USDGC champ.
but he has to prove that he can maintain his anger, his emotions. You got to keep those in check
Yeah,
when they affect other people.
It was a 6-month suspension, which puts it to the February of 2023. So it was the end of the year. It was everything at the last of the year
Okay,
up till so Vegas is in February.
so he can start over.
So he
again in
can
Vegas.
play after February 8th, making him eligible,
Making him eligible
to
for Vegas
begin
because it's the third
at
week of
Vegas.
February. There
Yep.
you go. So he's back. Okay, the penalty did fit the crime. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
He missed a lot.
9 months down to 6
Lost
months.
sponsors, like a lot happened. So yeah.
I mean,
All I'm
Gateway
saying
dropped
is-
him,
Yeah. All
which
I'm
is
saying
his
is,
uncle.
that's right. No, I mean you have to.
You had to. There
have
was no other answer.
There's no answer. And he probably held a grudge against. I mean, they may have been willing. You never know. He may have been willing to talk to him again after he proved himself. But LSD
Right.
jumped the gun. They want names. And
Yeah,
to me,
that's
it
the
felt
difference.
like it's the any press is good press type of thing. Like, hey, we're going to make a splash.
Which
How
they,
can we make a splash? You grab that guy, that's a splash.
that's a splash.
One of the biggest
yeah.
splashes.
And you re-sign Chandler Kramer,
You resign, yes. Kramer,
and
yes.
then you grab a bunch of amateurs across the country.
I don't know. Let's keep an eye out. Nobody knows.
No
where
one from
AB's
our
going
area,
yet.
though.
No one knows where AB's going yet.
No one in our area is sponsored by
Lone
Lone
Star?
Star.
No, I'm just kidding. We can find somebody that'll be sponsored by them soon enough. With that minimum requirements,
Our area doesn't care enough.
well, they care enough to grab all the.
No. Our players don't care enough to represent themselves,
Okay.
is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, there's no reason I'm sponsored and, I don't know, Spencer. Well, Spencer's on Street
Spencer's
Team.
got street team for Prodigy.
But there's no reason he's not sponsored on, he's not above Street Team. He's better than me by a lot.
Chris is higher rated than you. Chris has outperformed you the last handful of. Chris is.
Yeah, he has.
He's outperformed you. I'm not going to go by numbers. I'm going to go by performance. And at Life is Good, that was a hell of a performance.
Yeah,
That
he
was his
shot
first
1,000 rated.
But
And that's
he-
not even a righty course. I can't even complain.
Yeah, he's so I'm just gonna say because we're not gonna look up everybody's ratings.
No.
But Chris is up there.
Chris is above me right now,
So
probably.
I think there's a drive for him. Maybe he didn't. Maybe LSD
I mean, I
wasn't
don't
on
think.
his radar.
Well, I'm not even just saying LSD. I'm saying people just don't know these companies are looking.
Okay.
Like people just
At
don't.
that
aren't-
level, they just assume that you have to be at a
higher level, yeah.
before they apply. Yeah, I get that.
And I mean, sure, maybe Gateway isn't everyone's first choice, but to
I
me,
absolutely wouldn't have thought
it-
Gateway when
it
you came
would've-
out
it
of
was
the
my
woodworks
first
with
choice.
it. Yeah,
I putt with Wizards. I love them. I have for like
the
5
Wizards.
years. They're great putters.
They just don't work outdoors.
Yeah, they do.
They don't work outdoors.
Um,
Just kidding. It's his putting style that doesn't work outdoors.
but I just don't think the people in our area. I mean, I say it. This is my opinion on our area.
No.
Is that people aren't competitive enough.
We're not trying to offend anyone in the area. If you're
No.
trying and you haven't gotten it, or you just did and you're waiting for feedback, good for you. Like if we can help you in any
I'm just-
way, we want to help
Yeah,
people.
rising tide floats all boats.
We want to.
So-
So we don't want to knock anyone for not trying. We just don't think that effort. We don't see.
I'm
it
not seeing the effort from people.
because
I'm
we
not
see
hearing
so
it. I'm not.
many just happy and just saying, "Hey, I got my local sponsorship. Hey, I got my local
Which
sponsorship."
is fine. People
There's nothing
don't
wrong.
need to
I'm
care.
a local-based guy.
People don't need to care as much as I do about disc golf. Like if I could make disc golf my profession, I would.
Right,
But that's because
but
I
if-
care more.
If you're pushing for any sponsorship, why settle for mine? Why settle
Right.
for K2DG? Right.
Right.
can-
Well,
you can
that was
push
my.
yourself
You were
to
my
get another
stepping
one.
stone. Was
Right.
like
Right. So the locals can be stepping stones, helping
think they
these
are.
guys get more. So to say that the majority of the area doesn't really know or care enough to push that, I think with the growth we've had, like this past year, being able to run multiple tournaments on the same weekend had never been done before. Now
our
we're doing
area
it.
hit. Our area has
So the growth is
hit the
there.
explosion.
but
The
is the expertise
COVID
there?
growth happened, and then we maintained it. We didn't drop off. We maintained after the COVID growth.
Right. Okay. So what are we going to tackle next time?
Yeah, plenty of things we can tackle. I love talking about the different areas we've played.
Yeah, I like that idea too. I also want to say this is brand new. This is what we just told you. This is episode 1. This is going to evolve. It's going to grow. We have a slate of guests that are going to be joining us from across the nation. Yes, down in the Mecca, California, Florida. Like we're going to bring you people to join us with their opinions, what's happening with their scene, and so the format can change, right? So we want your comments. We want your feedback.
Yeah. Did
If
you like
you're
it?
going
Did you
to
not
be
like it?
constructive, if you're just doing it just to be a troll, we're gonna read it. We're just not gonna care, right? But if it's constructive and you have some feedback, and it comes to the point where it's helping us and we're helping you, and that's the partnership we're looking for. You get an opinion, we get an opinion, and we all
Yeah.
grow. So
Tell me what tournaments you beat me at this year.
Yeah.
If you beat me in the past, tell me what tournaments you beat me at,
Well, we're
and say
not-
why are you sponsored? And I'm not.
what we're not going to do, we're just trying to be a little different here, right? So we're not going to do is we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about news you've heard ad nauseum throughout the week.
Yeah.
Everybody has covered AB left. Everybody covered.
Yeah.
Why are
AB
we going to
left
talk about
Nova.
AB leaving? In case you missed it, we might talk about it for 2 or 3 minutes. Say,
might,
hey,
yeah.
what happened last week? Well, AB left. Did you see that?
And we
coming?
left Innova,
No.
which he was
So-
this big when he started Innova.
All right. So, and look, if anybody can yeet, it's AB. All right. So we don't know where he's
Yeah.
going to go, but I'm saying
Hooligan discs.
maybe somebody makes a yeet.
Hooligan
It's
disc
just a
yeet?
match made. I'm just saying. That's
Drew,
me.
I think Drew has a signature hooligan disc. There's another one stacked on the list on the back of Drew.
There you go.
Hooligan
So-
disc. His
Yeah.
signature yeet.
So the format is bound to change. It's bound to evolve. It's going to be opinionated. It's going to be Marcus and myself, and we're going to have a third person either live with us here or on location wherever they're at. And our hope is to take this mobile. We will be able to take it mobile.
Yeah.
We're going to start local, maybe a tournament here, some events we're running here. Again, with Western New York Gaming. We're talking about a big baller tournament, right?
Big baller putting league.
Put your money where your mouth is. Bet on yourself to win. The entry fee, everything's going to be worked out really soon. But it's the case where you think you're a better putter than everybody else. So put the money where your mouth is. Come out here, prove it, and walk away with a lot of money. We're going to do stuff like that, and we're going to go live with that. And then hopefully when we make our travels throughout the disc golf season, we'll be able to take it with us there, right?
Yeah.
So we know
Hit
we're
some
going to
stuff
make
from the
worlds
road.
happen. We know we're
Worlds
gonna
is
be at
close
Worlds.
to us this year.
We know we're going to be at RFDO.
Yeah, RFDO. I think it's called AFDO this year.
Is it?
AFDO 50. Oh, that didn't work. Yeah, greater.
Well,
I don't know.
what we have known as the Greater Rochester Disc Golf, RFDO, Rochester Flying Disc
Yeah.
Open. What we have known as that. They got a B tier? No, they got an A tier.
It's a Silver Series.
Silver Series. They got a Silver Series
It's the one before Worlds.
right before Worlds. So we'll be there. It's local-ish, right? An hour from us. We'll try to cover that. I'll try to do a little bit live. Then we're going to go to Worlds.
American Flying Disc Open.
It's called American Flying Disc Open now that it's Silver Series. Right here in Rochester. So we're definitely going to be at those. We're making a push to be at it used to be the DDO. It is the
It is DDO.
It used to be GBO. We're going to be
Yeah,
at
you
DDO.
want to go to DDO.
And we have someone looking to still go to LVC. This is the first time we're not going to be as a team unit in LVC for the. We've been there 3 years in a row. It'll be the first time we're not making it. So
Yeah. And
we're
we'll
gonna
talk
make
about
a
that next
push.
time. What my opinions on
yeah,
LVC course.
yeah. Which well, I love it. It's my first ever sanctioned event. So we're gonna miss it this year, but we'll be back there. But yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be out and about, and we'll hit people who are touring, and we'll hit people who are at certain events, and we'll try to get those to you too while we're there. So it's a partnership here. We're trying to give you opinions. We're asking for yours, and
Yeah.
we're hoping that it all works out and we can grow together. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So make sure you check back next week. We're going to try to keep this up weekly. Obviously,
Yep.
life gets in the way, folks. A lot of stuff going on. We have a lot of stuff going on with family, with friends, with
holidays.
disc golf, with holidays. But we're going to try to keep this pretty regular to keep you in the know. Which, we'll talk about that again on the format. Maybe spend a few minutes talking about what happened, a few minutes talking about what's going to happen, and then we'll post it all from there.
Sounds
All
good
right.
to me.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We appreciate it. Hope to see you soon.